Hey guys, this is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and welcome back to another movie review. Today's movie review is going to be on the Blue's Clues movie, Blue's Big City Adventure. Yep, that's right. Blue's Big City Adventure just came out on Paramount Plus last week, and so I watched it last Saturday on Paramount Plus. And so pretty much the story of Blue's Big City Adventure is basically about Josh and Blue. The Josh has actually auditioned to be in a Broadway musical, and so together both Josh and Blue go to New York City. But then of course the Blue's Clues gang like Mr. Salt and Tickety Talk and Slippery Soap, all three of them realize that Josh forgot his handy dandy notebook, and so throughout the movie they have to go and give back and give the handy dandy notebook to Josh, and then of course Josh has to figure out where the Broadway musical auditions are taking place. So he plays Blue's Clues, of course, and finds 3 clues, and the movie's kind of pretty much almost like a movie special of a Blue's Clues episode, including Blue's Clues and You, and pretty much. I've also been hearing before watching this movie also kind of takes inspiration from Spider-Man No Way Home and Sing 2 together in one, like 2 2021 movies combined into one, and you get Blue's Big City Adventure between Spider-Man No Way Home and Sing 2. Because there are some songs in this movie, because, for a Blue's Clues special, and, there's songs in this movie, and... Oh yeah, and since this movie kind of inspired Spider-Man No Way Home, like Steve and Joe actually do return as well. Like Steve Burns and Donovan Patton, they both return as their characters Steve and Joe. And pretty much, the Blue's Clues gang, like Tickety Talk and Slippery Soap and Mr. Salt, they team up with Steve and Joe to go find Josh and Blue. And of course, Rainbow Puppy from Blue's Clues and You, Rainbow Puppy also makes an appearance as well. So there you go. So here are my overall thoughts on the Blue's Clues movie, Blue's Big City Adventure. When I first heard about that this movie was coming out, I was kind of very excuse me. I was kind of pretty interested in checking out this movie. But then, of course, since I learned that this movie was coming out on November 18th of 2022, and then I actually watched it the day after that, and so I gotta say, this movie was actually, I actually really like this movie. Excuse me. Pardon me. And Blue's Big City Adventure is also not really considered to be the first Blue's Clues movie, because there was a movie that came out during the original series of season 3, and that was called Blue's Big Musical Movie. And I really enjoyed Blue's Big Musical Movie. I actually really enjoyed it. I remember watching it on VHS all the time. And I remember renting the DVD from Netflix back. That was back in the old days of Netflix, before it was a streaming service. And yeah, Blue's Big Musical Movie had most of the best songs that my mom remembers. And this movie, Blue's Big City Adventure, even has some pretty good songs too. Yeah. And even the acting itself, I think, is very well done too. Like Josh Dela Cruz as Josh, as well as Steve Burns and Donovan Patton as Steve and Joe. They're both still great in the movie. And of course, Tracy Page Johnson as Blue. And yeah, and pretty much, I liked almost everything about this movie. Cause it gave me that nostalgic feel of watching Blue's Clues all the time when I was little. And yeah, and plus, there's hardly ever kid voiceovers that are talking to Josh, but they actually do keep the a clue phrases, like, a clue, like, they keep those phrases in the movie. And of course the kids actually, the kids in New York City actually do appear on screen to help Josh find the clue. Yeah. Oh yeah, plus, even there are some special guest stars that were in this movie too. Like B.D. Wong from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World and Mulan. B.D. Wong was actually in this movie. He actually plays like a person that was helping Rainbow Puppy look for the best person for the audition. And Alex Winter from Bill and Ted, from Bill and Ted, he's actually in this movie too. Alex Winter actually plays like a taxi cab driver that takes Josh and Blue and the rest of the gang like to the auditions. And I think Alex Winter actually did a good job playing the taxi driver, like, because I definitely recognize Alex Winter who was from the Bill and Ted movies. And yeah, and like I said, when I first heard that this movie was coming out, they even said that this movie also inspired the MCU movie that came out last year, Spider-Man: No Way Home. Because like I said, Steve and Joe do return, and it's like it gives you that, like, it's kind of almost like it gives you like Spider-Man: No Way Home vibes, where it gives you that nostalgic feel of like the original Blue's Clues host from the original shows. Oh yeah, plus they actually kind of do reference Blues Room at some point. Like there was like a little part involving a puppet show involving like Frederica, like, you know, Fred from Blues Room. Like they actually kind of do reference Blues Room in this movie, but that's pretty much like the only time it does reference Blues Room, and not really a big fan of Blues Room. It's like I mostly prefer the original Blues Clues and pretty much Blues Clues and You. And yeah, because it's like everyone did a great job in this movie, and like even the voice acting itself for the Blues Clues characters, it's still well done, and and I honestly thought that Blues Big City Adventure was just as great as Blues Big Musical Movie. I mean, Blues Big Musical Movie kind of felt more like a special episode of Blues Clues rather than an actual movie, like with Ray Charles and Steve Burns, like, you know, but Blues Big Musical Movie, it's still a really great rewatchable childhood movie of mine. And yeah, and pretty much what and pretty much and it's kind of like how this movie kind of inspired, like, you know, it inspired like many, like, you know, it inspired the original Blues Clues show as well as Blues Big Musical Movie. Because this movie kind of does it treat as like a sequel, an updated version of Blues Big Musical Movie. And I actually did knew that this movie will be streaming on Paramount Plus, because this movie kind of did not really deserve a theatrical release, because I think it works better as a Paramount Plus streaming original. Yeah, from Paramount. And also Nickelodeon Movies also made this movie too. Nickelodeon Movies had involvement with this movie. Yeah. So overall, Blues Big City Adventure was a great Blues Clues movie, just like Blues Big Musical. And I'm gonna give Blues Big City Adventure four blue paw prints out of 5. Get it? Like the blue paw prints, like I'm referring to the stars like this. Because I would rate Blues Big City Adventure 4 blue paw prints out of 5. Yeah, see what I did there? But yeah, so if you have Paramount Plus, and if you really enjoyed the original Blues Clues show, if you remember it well, and in case if you also did kind of enjoy Blues Clues and You, then I recommend giving this movie a watch. And there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for my movie review on Blues Big City Adventure. And that's going to be it for this video, so make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying, goodbye everybody, and that's about it.